love you. Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Shane, and today, as the title suggests, we'll be checking out my 5 favorite houseplants in my personal collection. So let's go ahead and get into it. Starting off at number 5, we have my Alocasia Fried Egg, or Alocasia Gianna Fried Egg. That is the technical name for it. This plant I got from Gabriella Plants, which is an online store that I frequently shop at, and it did come with a little bit of damage on it, but I mean, this plant has just been rocking it since it got here. It's probably been a couple of months now. As soon as I got it, within the week, it put out this huge, beautiful green velvety leaf. The leaves are velvety. I know you can't really tell by the video, but it's this beautiful velvety leaf with these deep white veins in it, and it has been pretty much fuss-free. It sits in my bathroom in an east-facing window, and I don't have any issues with it at all. I water it pretty much when I remember, and I mean, it's just as happy as a clam. It's so beautiful. The leaves are a little bit heavy, so I do have it kind of tied up on this little pole a little bit, but otherwise, I mean, it's fuss-free and it's absolutely beautiful. So, Alocasia Fried Egg, I love you. At number 4, I have the coveted Ceropegia woodii, or string of hearts, also known as the chain of hearts. This is such a coveted plant and hard to come by. I had to specifically order this on Etsy because everybody was only selling cuttings of this plant, and I really wanted a full plant. I didn't want to grow one from a cutting or have 2 or 3 cuttings. I wanted a full plant that was going to start trailing this season, and it did. I got it. It was probably up to about here, so it's grown a few inches just since I got it a couple of months ago, and it is beautiful. These little leaves are just tiny little tender heart shape. It is a succulent, so it does require, you know, higher light situations but low water situations, and it's kind of behind my curtains, so I do forget to water it on occasion. As you can see, it has definitely bore the brunt of that, but for the most part, you know, it's pretty carefree. It does get tangled a lot, but I love it, and I hope that she stays with me for a good long while and gets longer and longer and longer, so I can hang her down from something, maybe some shelving, and truly show off just how beautiful these leaves are. I love it. Ceropegia woodii, string of hearts, chain of hearts, you are lovely. Coming in at number 3, we do have this Satin Pothos, which is what it's generally referred to as, but it is a Scindapsus pictus, specifically Scindapsus pictus argyrius. And this is one of my favorites because it has been such a prolific grower for me. I have it sitting in a west-facing window, which you would generally think might be a little bit of a too high light situation for it, but it has just been putting off new growth like crazy. This is the longest trail that I have right here, and this is, I think, the longest trail that I have in my house of any of my plants. Right here you can see some of these like tips got brown and kind of fell off. I don't know what that was about because the rest of the plant seemed pretty okay. So for the most part, I just don't pay this one any mind, and it's getting so bushy on top. I've already taken numerous cuttings of it, and it's just, it grows so wonderfully. I don't really have a secret. I don't even fertilize this thing. I bought it on one drunken night at Walmart, and it's just been such a great addition to my house, not to mention it's so beautiful. So this is a Satin Pothos, but its technical name is Scindapsus pictus argyrius. I also have another Scindapsus pictus, which is the exotica form of this. I'll put in a picture of that, but that bad boy has grown so slow that it's like, I don't even know what it's doing. It just is hanging out of my house. It needs to start paying rent if it's not going to start showing off, at least. So, but if you are looking for a trailing plant that's going to be a prolific grower so that you can start to, you know, trail it along your walls or anything, I would highly suggest this one even over a golden pothos, because this, I mean, it's beautiful, it's eye-catching, it's got these silvery satin leaves, and it is just wonderful. So please get one of these. You won't regret it. Coming in at number 2, of course, where would this video be without my wonderful Monstera Deliciosa Bordeaux Gianna? It is specifically the Bordeaux Gianna. This big girl right here has been such a comforting plant for me. She's constantly putting out new growth. As you can see, some leaves here and all up here. It's just beautiful, beautiful green leaves with so many fenestrations. It's unbelievable. I mean, this one is going to have such a crazy amount of fenestrations. And you know, out of all of the plants that I had, this was one of the first that every day I could see changes in, and that was just, it was, every day I could see changes, and that was kind of what made me want to continue to get more and more plants. When you have a plant like this that's going to keep pushing out new growth every day and reward you, how do you say no to that? You just don't. So I did just recently put it on this moss pole, if you can see here. This is so that instead of growing out and being wide, it will dig its little aerial roots into this moss pole if you keep it moist, and it will grow up, so it'll grow tall, which, considering the size of my house, as I've discussed in previous videos, I need things that are tall, not wide. There is no room for this big girl if she's going to keep growing wider and wider and wider. Right now, she's not insanely wide, but some of her leaves do get kind of out there. I had to tie up most of the ones that were pushing out pretty far. So she has been a prolific grower for me as well. And I just appreciate her love and comfort when I'm feeling like a bad plant mom. So number 2, we have my Monstera Deliciosa Bordeaux Gianna. And now, my number 1 favorite houseplant in my collection, which no one's going to believe that this is my favorite, but it is my reverted pink princess philodendron, also known as the Philodendron iridescens. This philodendron is so wonderful, and yes, it does need to be watered. That's why she's flopping around like this. But you know, I bought it from Gabriella Plants, and it looked really beautiful and big online, and I am a sucker for really any and all aeroids, but I could not have even expected what this plant was going to give me. I mean, it's so beautiful, so absolutely beautiful. I mean, the stems are this deep red color, like a ruby red color. If you cut it, it actually comes out, you know, kind of like a pink reddish dye as well. And on some of the leaves you can actually see where it once was trying to be a pink princess. But I don't even care that it's not a pink princess. I think it's absolutely beautiful in its natural state. This gorgeous ruby red color. This has also been a prolific grower for me. Mind you, it does sit in my kitchen under some grow lights, so I guess I would be surprised if it wasn't growing pretty rapidly. But this is not a trailing plant so much as it is like it's going to grow tall. And if I did put something in there, it might potentially grow on it. It's got these tiny little nubby aerial roots, but I mean, it just, every day that I look at this and see these leaves unfurling, like this beautiful red one is just starting to unfurl. Oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous. And then as they mature, they will turn into this deep green color here. But as soon as Gabriella Plants gets these back on their site, I'm probably going to buy like 2 more because I am obsessed with this one. It's so, so beautiful. So beautiful. So this is the Philodendron iridescens, also known as a reverted pink princess or a burgundy princess. That is what Gabriella Plants labeled it as. And I love her, and I would highly suggest you get her as a houseplant. You will not regret it, and she might even match your decor if you kind of have this this theme going on like I do. She's just so wonderful. But wait, there's more. For honorable mentions, I would like to show you all my Philodendron Burle Marx. She is beautiful as well. Please excuse the discoloration on her leaves from some tap water that I sprayed her with. But this is also a very lovely philodendron, kind of slow growing, and I do have it in this terracotta pot that dries up all the time. I feel like I'm watering this bad boy at least every other day. but it's finally starting to get some new growth on it. I think that this also came from Gabriella plants. But this is another beautiful philodendron. If you are super into aeroids like I am, I would highly suggest getting this one as well. She's pretty hardy and resistant to the fact that I forget to water her all the time. And even though her name is Burle Marx, she's still a beautiful, pretty lady. So, Philodendron Burle Marx, I would highly suggest. My other honorable mention, which let me preface this with the fact that I am not super into peperomias. I'm not sure what the hype is about peperomias, but I just generally find them boring. There's a handful that are beautiful to me, but for the most part, I find them boring. With that being said, I do own a handful of peperomias. So my favorite peperomia in my collection, and really just one of my favorite plants altogether, is this Peperomia Silver Ripple. I want to say it's technically a Peperomia caparata, but this sits in my bathroom and it is one of my favorites because it's been pretty much carefree. I did kind of overwater it a little bit semi-recently when I was trying to solve a fungus gnat problem, and peperomias have very shallow root systems, so they do not like to be overwatered. So she kind of got a little bit upset about that, but you know, she sits in the background just doing her own thing and most of the time doesn't complain at all. And she just looks so healthy and so happy and joyous, and I just think that she's a really great addition to my bathroom plants, where she just is more of an accent plant rather than somebody that's going to stand out. So this Peperomia Silver Ripple, I would suggest if you're looking for a small plant that will stay small, because these peperomias, they don't generally get big, but a small plant that will stay small and kind of brighten up an area without taking the spotlight. I literally just got this peace lily a couple of hours ago, so of course she can't be on the favorite list yet. I haven't even treated her for snails. For some reason she has snails on her leaves. But would you look at the size of these leaves? Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed. I was stopped dead in my tracks when I saw the size of these beautiful leaves. I'm a sucker for giant foliage, which is unfortunate because I have a tiny house. But yes, I don't currently own a peace lily, so I figured why not get this one, considering it was only $14 and had gigantic leaves and no flowers, because I don't really like flowers. So this spathiphyllum or peace lily has a place in my heart, and maybe on a future favorites video we shall find out. Thank you so much, y'all, for hanging out with me and some of my plant babies today. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to be notified of any future videos that I put out. And also, if you aren't already, feel free to follow me on my Instagram at Frolicswithfoliage for updates on my babies day to day. Again, thank you, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.